All righty, Sherpas, Omis, how's it going? Good to see everyone. Let's give, actually, there's a lot of comments already before this even started. Let's give it just a minute for people to trickle in. Got a really full session today. A lot of stuff to cover. Pretty busy, eventful week, but also past month or so. A lot to cover. Um, Let's see. Alrighty, let's give it just a few minutes for everyone to kind of get in. But good to be back after not what's up, good boy? How's it going? Where's everyone dialing in from? William, how are you? Sven, Immortal, Zuma, Sachin, how's everyone going, guys? Which Drop in the comments which part of the world you're dialing in from, or what country, so we can see where the Sherpas are at. Australia. It's pretty late in Australia, isn't it? Portugal, DJ says, I don't even know how to say it, but he's a supporter, big homie. Appreciate that. Rogue Trader, South Africa, Chile, Gibraltar, Kenya, Indonesia, Brazil. Wow, literally all over. Amazing. Sotra, thank you for the support. Korea, Turkey, Austria, Russia. Wow. India, Bulgaria, USA, Indonesia, Nigeria, India. Amazing. So very international crew we got here with us today. That's awesome. I'm here in Hong Kong. I think that maybe is a good place to start. I'm back in Hong Kong and happy to be here for um, pretty much the rest of the summer. We'll be traveling a little bit. I have a couple events in the States, a couple things in the States going on, but primarily we'll be in Hong Kong, which is good. Will allow us to, or allow me particularly to just be heads down, focused on building, shipping, and working on the comeback. I think you've been seeing this week, we've been talking about comeback season is in full swing. Rahul, thank you. Appreciate it. um, yes, I'm getting texts on my phone too. So people all over the place dialing in. But anyway, um, yeah, as you can see, we're busy. Um, have been dealing with a lot over the last month or so, as of you have, and it's been a tough time for Mantra, for the community, for the team, but we're fully committed to continue to build this back, to recover, and to come back. I think I saw some comments about Solana $8 before. That's our goal, and then some. This is our moment to show the world what we're made of, and we're very confident that with the support of the community, the support of our investors, we'll be able to do that. So, I guess maybe just to kind of get right into it, obviously we had a very traumatic and difficult event, one of the hardest events in the history of Mantra, in middle of April. And I won't really, rehash too much on the incident. We've talked about that a lot. For those of you who haven't seen um, the panel that I did at Token 24 in Dubai, I had a one-on-one on the stage where we literally just talked about the situation, what we're doing about it, our commitment to transparency, our commitment to continue to build and go forward, our commitment to, come back, basically. And we started showing with, action rather than just words that we're doing that. We've launched our transparency dashboard with real-time monitoring, which will continue to improve and have continued to update. So, of course, if you have feedback and thoughts and ideas, please do share them with us. It'll be great. Um, in addition, we have been working on this kind of recovery plan, which I'll talk a little bit about more later. So anyway, there's been a lot of moving pieces that we've been focused on since that point, and started to put some of these pieces into action. So obviously been a challenging time, but again, as I mentioned, team fully committed, community fully committed, investors and supporters behind the scenes fully committed, and everyone's working in unison to regain the trust of the community, to instill as much transparency as possible in the market, and move forward. So, um, as I said in Dubai, I will say again today, um, we really want to focus on, the way forward and not dwell on the past because nothing is going to change the situation. All we can do is deal with it and improve upon it and make it better for all those in the community and for all of our partners, token holders, and investors. So, in that spirit, one of the things that we've been talking about and focusing on is, you know, shipping, building, delivering, and launching new things. And we firmly believe that by delivering substance, fundamental value, by focusing on increased transparency, improved governance, additional institutional support, shipping product, bringing on assets on chain, and really doubling down on our mission to bring finance and tokenize all different types of assets on chain. We'll be able to build this back stronger than ever. I was talking to a few people, and I feel fully confident that in hindsight, well, in the future, and when looking back in hindsight, we'll say that while this was a very traumatic situation, it's going to be one of those things that we'll look back and say, Mantra would not be the same without this situation because as they say, diamonds are formed under pressure, and these type of incidents will show us really what we're made of, and it allows us to have this renewed focus, renewed ability to execute, and to be honest, there's a lot of silver linings in the situation as well. So anyway, just to touch on a few things that we've done and worked on over the course of the past let's call it 4 or 5 weeks. Obviously, the first couple weeks were absolutely crazy. Was literally all over the world, making sure that we could deal with the situation, getting out in front of as much media as possible, telling our side of the story. There was so much misinformation that was out there in the market. There continues to be misinformation out there in the market around tokenomics, around bridging, around all these different things. And I think a few of these updates that we'll have will one show that people really do need to do their own research and do better research before they're putting out false and inflammatory statements, particularly some of the leading figures in the media and in the industry, claiming all sorts of things that frankly are completely inaccurate and in many cases um, just honestly ridiculous statements. And I won't go too much into that. We don't want to be negative and focus on those type of things because we're looking forward and we're focusing on the recovery and the return. But that is something that we're dealing with, and I think one of the reflections of it was um, misinformation and optics really matter. And there was a lot of things that came out that showed that we need to do better in terms of managing the optics, even though in practice, a lot of the things that we were doing were, um, there's nothing to be said, nothing doing to what was being said about it. So in general, we're focusing on building and shipping, and I'm going to run through a few of these key highlights that we've worked on this past month. One that actually has gotten very little attention was Mstead. So Cristobal, available in Korea. Jenny as K-pop idol released a song called Mantra. Dude, this is a chance of a lifetime. We're aware of the song Mantra by Jenny. It's definitely popular. And obviously um, we're excited about what we're doing in the Korean market, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Anyway, so some updates. One of the things that we launched actually, basically right after the incident in April was Mstead. So as part of our commitment to deploying into multiple execution layers and effectively like increasing our ability to access liquidity, developers, and bring capital in from other ecosystems, we had announced earlier in the year that we're going to be launching it and moving into the EVM. So we did actually launch our own EVM, actually multi-VM test net called Mstead, which allows for Solidity developers to deploy EVM Solidity contracts. So we can actually have all the EVM based or EVM compatible based dApps come to Mantra, as well as EVM compatible assets and tokens come over to Mantra in a multi-VM environment where they can interact with the Cosmos ecosystem via IBC in a effectively kind of like completely compatible environment. So your Ethereum assets and your or your EVM assets and your Mantra Cosmos assets can interact with each other very simply and easily. This is something that yeah, DeFi crypto it actually is. I believe the testnet is public. I mean, we've already had developers deploying on it. So there's actually some pretty exciting and big names who are deploying on it, which is good. So definitely check that out. YouTube airdropper. So Coinbase hasn't listed us, so they don't need to relist us yet. We are working on that one. Anyway, okay, good. DeFi crypto, you're already collecting faucet on Mstead. Very good. Keep that up. Appreciate that. There's a lot of okay, good. So anyway, so Mstead was launched. We've already had significant traction on the development of that application, and we're looking forward towards the mainnet launch of the EVM layer in the coming months. So presently expecting this around late summer, beginning of fall, when the mainnet will launch. So in the meantime, we'll be deploying more dApps to be able to test. So be on the lookout for that, and make sure you, again, if you want to interact with the faucet, please do. That would be great. So anyway, additionally, one thing for a lot of the community members who are yapping via Kaito on X, we increased the Kaito rewards. We distributed those. So for those who have been yapping actively, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. By the way, there's a few people. I'm going to talk about Buyback. Just relax. There's a lot more to go in this. I have a very long list of topics today, so please be patient and appreciate it. And I know you all are going to get excited about the word Buyback. Also, whoever this Cur edit person is, please stop saying that. Thank you. Anyway, Kaito rewards have been increased because of the token price depreciation. But we did, commit to increasing at the request of the community, and we hope those who receive the rewards are appreciate it. And again, thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for yapping about Mantra, and continue to do so. That would be great, and we're going to have more months of this reward program anyway. So please make sure to continue yapping. One of the big ones that was really good to see was, in addition to our commitment to decentralizing our network, if you go to Mantra Zone, you can see, or Mintscan, you can see that we've started decommissioning our association validators. Effectively, what this is doing is pushing all the community and third-party delegations away from the zero-fee nodes that Mantra was running, just to give the community ability to bootstrap the network, out to third parties and decentralizing and distributing the network. So that's good to see. And as part of that, we've started to add additional validators, including one being Nansen. That is a really interesting partnership for us, because it's not just the validator partnership, but also an integration into their analytics dashboard, where you can actually track money movements, you can track wallets, you can track all this type of stuff, which gives more transparency to the market, more transparency to their token holders. And also, by delegating to the Nansen node, you'll be able to earn Nansen points, because I believe they're doing some sort of future airdrop. Not financial advice, do your own research, but that is eligible for that, and maybe a way for you to farm some additional tokens. I'm actually in the process of moving some tokens that I bought recently to the Nansen node. So I'll make sure you can see that, as you always do with my public wallet. Anyway, so that's great. Another big milestone that I think again shows that there's traction and there's trust, and that things are moving in the right direction, is we recently crossed nearly 100 and over 100 million, but actually I think it's like $119 million worth of RWAs tokenized on Mantra mainnet. It moved into the top 10 blockchain networks for RWAs tokenized on RWAXYZ. And if you look at the number of holders, we're number 5. We have a large deal, which is a 9-figure energy deal that's coming in the not too distant future, which will significantly increase the RWA on chain on Mantra. And I urge you to keep watching RWXYZ to see the increase here, which is good. So anyway, really excited about that. The team's going to continue pushing and bringing more assets on chain. What else? Okay, so one of the big ones that was a little bit silent, but one of the bigger ones that is huge for good boy, mid-nine figures as well. So it's quite large. But anyway, so one of the obviously the biggest things that happened was last week, which was the Binance mainnet integration. So for those of you who haven't seen, Binance mainnet is now integrated, and it's become an option for deposit withdrawal on the Binance.com exchange. A little bit of alpha here, or maybe just kind of like history, just to show you, the situation that we were in was legitimately the day when the incident happened. We were supposed to get listed, or sorry, we were supposed to have our chain integrated on Binance. We had a lot of really, really big things that week planned, and obviously had to deal with a horrendous and horrible situation. But it shows that um, you know big players like Binance and other exchanges are going to continue to support the network, and it's a very big, 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 support and show of validation for us that the largest exchange in the world, like Binance, is integrating our chain. So that is a big one, and it unlocks a lot of things. Um, it brings me to the next one, which is effectively we've kind of always had this two token ecosystem going on, where we've been waiting for the largest exchange, Binance, to integrate the chain in order to facilitate the movement of Ethereum ERC tokens to mainnet. Now with Binance, there's no reason to not move it over to mainnet if you want cheaper fees, if you want better access to staking rewards, if you want better access to the ecosystem. Um, Basically all major exchanges now are going to be supporting mainnet, and including other ones that also listed this week. It's all mainnet. So if you have OM on Ethereum, I would highly suggest you to bridge it to mainnet in order to get the most out of the ecosystem. And actually, I believe as of when I checked yesterday, it was almost 165 million tokens have been bridged, which is roughly 20% of the ERC network. And we're going to continue pushing that number and continue getting as many tokens bridged as possible. Looking forward, we'll probably set some sort of cutoff date of when you need to bridge by, just to make sure that we get people to migrate and move over. But don't worry, that's not happening anytime soon. There's still plenty of time. But we do want to facilitate the movement of all activity over to the mainnet, because again, that's where the focus is. That does not necessarily mean that we won't have interactions with the Ethereum side of the space. That's the whole point of why we're launching EVM layer to our blockchain. So anyway, on that topic, for those who have been staking on Mantra Finance previously, we unlocked the OM upgrade rewards. So people can now claim those. Those are live, and people have been claiming them regularly, which has been great to see. We only put out the first 3 months of those rewards, and we'll additionally top up another program or another season effectively after this 3-month window ends. If you are staking on the EVM side and you are getting EVM or your ERC OM rewards, those are officially ending at the end of this month, I believe. And it's in perfect timing, given that Binance is now integrated, other exchanges and major exchanges are integrated, and everything should be moving to mainnet. So again, if you haven't moved, definitely move over. I usually don't call this stuff out, but G 2.0, just look what Binance is doing, and you can kind of assume for yourself whether or not we're going to get delisted. But there's a reason that we've been there for nearly 5 years now, or 4 years, I guess, 4.5, and there's a reason why they are continuing to integrate our network, even after this situation, because again, they've done their investigations, they know what happened, they know the team wasn't involved, they know that we, again, we're focused on doing the right thing, and they showed that by continue to support our network, which is a big show of trust and validation. Additionally, we had a interesting tokenization partnership with Win Investments, which is a South American Argentine-based sports business that's looking to tokenize player rights because of these interesting mechanisms that they have for South American, um, football players or soccer players. When they go and play over in Europe, um, they have this idea called the solidarity mechanism, where a portion of their future transfer fees basically come back to these players and these clubs back in their home countries to make sure that there's an even playing field on a global scale. And actually, what they're trying to do here is tokenize these, so you can invest in the next Messi, you can invest in the next Vinny, you can invest, in the next Ronaldinho, or whoever your favorite football player may be. And it's a really cool opportunity to be part of that through tokenization. So we're really excited about that partnership. Much more to come. They're supported by the Argentine Football Association, and have very significant ties to the major players in that region. So we're super excited about that relationship and that partnership. Another big one from an exchange side was Upbit. Upbit is the largest Korean exchange. It has 10 million users in Korea. Korea is obviously a massive market for crypto, and we're super excited and proud to be listed yesterday. That was honestly a surprise. It came out of nowhere. At least in the wake of this incident. We had been actively in conversations with Upbit for a long time. They do significant amount of due diligence and research and information gathering. And again, this is another show of credibility, another show of validation, another show of trust that institutions and big, large players are supporting Mantra and are supporting the mainnet, even though we've gone through this, hard and challenging time and situation. And that was, again, a many months process of information gathering. And we're, super proud that we're finally able to enter that market in a massive way. And we're going to continue pushing the Korean market. So, if anyone is watching and is in the Korea market, we're going to be doing a lot more activities there going forward. And we're very, excited to be active there. For those who don't know, my wife is actually Korean. So my in-laws are Korean. They live in Korea. I do spend a decent amount of time there when I can. I love that place, and we're excited to show and teach more about the Mantra ecosystem and what we're doing there. And hopefully, a lot of our Korean supporters and partners can now trade in the most liquid market in Korea. Obviously, after the Upbit integration and announcement, we saw another one, which was Crypto.com. To be honest, I think that Crypto.com had already listed us, but they tweeted about us yesterday, which was interesting. And anyway, because of that, maybe they integrated the change. I think the first listing they had was ERC. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys want to go check it out, but they do have additional listings or pairs now with USD and Euro, which is good. So anyway, now we have additional fiat pairs, which is, again, good for on and off ramping for regulated crypto venues. Crypto.com is one of the most regulated crypto exchanges in the market. So that's really exciting. And we're happy about that one. And I will say we have more exchanges coming. We're working actively on a number of different exchange integrations, obviously focused on the mainnet. A few other, I guess, kind of interesting transparency focused integrations or research focused integrations is actually we're integrating as well with Token Terminal. We're creating custom dashboards that users can interact with and see all different types of statistics and research and metrics pulled straight from the chain. We're working on the R as well. Don't worry. At YouTube airdropper. But anyway, so the token terminal integration, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to go live to the public, but we've been seeing some of the first versions of it, and we're pretty excited about it. And YouTube airdropper, no, Damak did not dump. We're still in close conversations and collaborations with them, and that's not going on. Anyway, so they're still strongly working with us in a strong partner. Please stop saying that. They did not dump. Anyway, so in addition, I want to talk a little bit about some interesting new apps and products that are coming. So one of them that you've started seeing a little bit more is called Lotus Dex. I think they've just recently launched a new quest for the community to get some points and rewards from. So make sure to check that out. In addition, I think some of you are familiar with the brand or the project Omega. That's going to start coming to light soon as well. So that's another one. I'll just leave it there for now. But that will effectively start as a tokenization engine for a lot of these RWA assets coming on chain. I guess really the last thing that I would want to talk on, and then I'll just take a couple questions, is the buyback. And a deal that we're working on, which is focused on bringing in new institutional capital, as well as the support of our existing institutional investors and partners who are doubling down on Mantra. And we're working on this right now actively, and it's something that is moving positively. And as part of that, it will also include this buyback mechanism that we've been working on. We will make sure that the buyback is done in a very transparent fashion. We'll make sure it's announced to the public in advance and how it's going to be happening, how it's going to be going on. You will know all full details in a transparent manner. So please do just hold tight. And I know a lot of you guys are asking about this additional burn as well. To be completely honest, I burnt the team tokens or my team tokens in order to show solidarity to the community, to show that we're focused and aligned for the long run here, and we'll do what it takes to do to instill trust back in the community. And I did say that at the time we were focusing on trying to get additional, tokens from partners to do some sort of burning program or some sort of buyback. And really, after talking it through and focusing on and seeing what the market dynamics and structure are looking like, where tokens are sitting, where they're on exchanges, you can see there's still tokens on certain exchanges, which is because they were seized and taken over. But anyway, because of that, we feel like it's much better to buy back and focus our attention on that rather than compensating investors or partners to do some sort of burn, particularly if these tokens are not in circulation. So we're more focused on what we would consider to be value accrual to the OHM token, which we believe is something we can achieve better through buybacks, and then something like a programmatic burn where we tie into the actual revenue or tokenomics, continuously burning and or delivering value back into token holders' hands, rather than some sort of one-off of out of circulating supply tokens. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update there. We do believe that this will be the best way to do, kind of a mechanism to instill structure back into the market, and as well as being able to really, actively, drive value back into the token and really create a healthy, orderly market. So hopefully that, you guys understand that. It makes sense. Let me try to get some comments here. Some people are just spamming a lot, but anyway, appreciate the general sentiment of everyone showing up and asking questions. So what's this question about BNB chain? Well, so one of the things that we are focusing on as well is turning OHM into not just a chain token, but an ecosystem token that supports all different sort of dApps and powers really this broader ecosystem, where we're very excited about the the opportunity for what that can bring by not just having the utility focus on being a gas token effectively. Let's see what else. Okay, so Tiger King was asking about the RWA assets. Well, just again, look at RWXYZ. You'll see that the number has gone up from 50 to now 120. And we have more on the way, as I just alluded to. So, there's many deals in the pipeline. We're fully focused and fully committed on bringing assets on chain. And we're excited for you guys to watch, and not just me talk about it, but watch the actual number continue to go up. And that's really where we're focusing on a lot of our attention. So Cristobal, I'm not really sure what you're asking for by Cold Wallet. Boy, do you have a target for on-chain RWA by the year end? Honestly, it's hard to say. It's as big as possible. I mean, we want billions, obviously. Billions of RWA on chain. JP, good name first. Tokenizing is one thing. What about distribution? Absolutely agreed. The devil is in the details here, and it's not all just about tokenizing something. It's actually very easy to tokenize an asset. It's much harder to distribute and get people to pay for it. So this is something that we're actively focused on, and this is honestly where our VAR license comes into such benefit and uniqueness because frankly speaking, it's easy to tokenize something and do it from a technical perspective. It's not easy to distribute it. And in many cases, you need licensing to do so. And there's just no one or very few people in the world. Well, there's no one who has the same license from the VAR perspective, but there's very few people in the world who have something similar in the crypto native land of RWA projects or blockchains, or soon to be RWA blockchains. So having this licensing and having this exposure to regulatory compliance is incredibly, incredibly important. Kuhaku, say hi to Chloe. Hi, Chloe. I'm pretty sure that's the Chloe from the trading group. DC, now Chloe, is a very, very passionate, very active participant in our community. And we appreciate their contributions. Although honestly, I don't know when they sleep and how they do it. Let's see. You guys are asking me about price. I can't talk about price. Obviously, we're doing everything we can to, reinstill trust in the market, and of course, Mantra is a 5-year-old project, and I think for people who are newer, we are, we've been in a situation where we've been down like 90+% before. In 2023, we were down 97, 98%, and that this will continue going forward, and that this is just another bump in our journey, and we'll get through it stronger than ever, honestly. YouTube airdropper, did the SEC contact me? No, other than when they gave me my pass to go attend the tokenization summit. So as you probably saw, I was in the US, in DC and New York last week, literally at their office, because I was participating in that tokenization summit. So if you're asking in any other way than that, no, they did not contact me. If you're asking me in that context, then yes, they did, to give me my pass to enter the building. Thank you. Must Blenda. So is Mantra going to be like a NASDAQ for RWA assets? And if so, how will it be accessible for the general public? You could kind of think about it like that. We want to be, both a protocol for asset, distribution and for trading activity, but also for building up an ecosystem of developer activity for people to have different types of protocols and applications on Mantra. So it's a little bit of a hybrid situation, but the whole point of this is that in the end of the day, it needs to be retail accessible. It needs to be open to the public. So through licensing, through a smart jurisdictional approach, and through obviously seamless onboarding and technology, this is how we'll be able to do that. Buy now and stake. I'm not going to say buy now, but definitely stake. Not financial advice, actually. And L asking if Up It was free listing. Yes. You can't pay for those type of things. It's all just, we've been working on this for months. Al to Artisan, not spamming. Okay, I don't exactly know what you're saying, but I'll follow up with Dustin. Crypto fundamentalist. Will there be a formal written announcement detailing value creation mechanics? Absolutely, there will be. As we continue to build this out in the future, we're 100%. Obviously, I had promised you that I was going to do a video on this, and then we had a challenging incident that we're dealing with. But this is something that we're committed to, and we'll continue to give more transparency around this as the project continues to develop. And to be honest, because of this situation that we're going through, a lot of things have. I don't say a lot of things have changed, but a lot of things have become clearer. But it also allows us to be more focused. And when everything was going perfectly, it was easy to go after all these different type of things. Now we have to be laser focused, and because of that, we've been really deeply focused on just shipping and building and getting things back on track. Any new partnerships in the US? Yes, actually, we are working on a couple there. Good boy. Have a good evening, brother. Get some rest. Thanks for always supporting and showing up. There's a lot of comments tonight, you guys. I appreciate it. Someone's asking if I speak Turkish. I do not speak Turkish, but we do have some team members who do. And we do have a Turkish community. So please do reach out in Turkish, and we'll more than happily support you in our Turkish community. Okay, I'll just take a couple more questions and then probably wrap it up. Because obviously this has been an exciting one. We'll continue to do these as much as possible going forward, and show other ways to engage with the community directly as well. So anyway, I think it seems to be somewhat of the same questions, but again, appreciate everyone for showing up today. A lot of updates, a lot of things happening, but frankly speaking, the the comeback has just started. We're just continuing to get back out there, show what we're made of, and again, as I mentioned many times, we do really believe this is as our this is going to be what makes us. And this is what people are going to know us for in a positive way, not a negative way. And you know we're uh, we're appreciative of all the support. I'm appreciative of the community standing by us, the people holding us accountable, to um, the team for their grit and determination and strength, and for everyone supporting us through this tough time. But we're a tough team. Been through this before. We're going to get through it again. We're going to come out stronger. So thanks everyone. And by the way, YouTube airdropper. I don't live in Dubai. I live in Hong Kong. I just travel a lot, so I'm in Dubai a lot. I'm in the US a lot. So anyway, appreciate the support, guys. Thanks for showing up today. Have a great evening, day, rest of your afternoon, wherever you may be. Stay safe, and we'll host this again soon. Appreciate everyone showing up, and talk soon. Cheers.